Welcome back, Ravens fans, and today I want to talk about something I've seen called the Jalen Ramsey problem. And again, this deals with the cornerback for the LA Rams, Jalen Ramsey. And it's not particularly to do with him, but it's a problem that many teams in the league have and that we've had sometimes in the past. Again, this is the Ravens channel, so I'm going to refer everything back to the Ravens. But first, let me discuss the Jalen Ramsey problem. If you guys have watched the Super Bowl and you've watched the first game of this season, you've noticed that Jalen Ramsey has struggled. The stats reveal that Jalen Ramsey is struggling when it comes to those one-on-one matchups with other teams' best receiver. Again, Jalen Ramsey is looked at as the best cornerback in the NFL. Because of this, it reveals a major problem that many teams have, and that the Ravens have done their best to never ever be a part of that problem ever again. And that problem is the superstar corner problem, where teams try to use one superstar corner to erase the best receiver on the field. In the past, this strategy has worked. We all know about Revis Island, and we all know about primetime Deion Sanders. However, in today's NFL, where the quarterback and the receiver have so many advantages, it just cannot be done. Now, we're going to talk about the Ravens' solution to this problem, and we're going to talk about the upsides and the downsides of their solution. And the solution for the Ravens is very simple. You can see it when you look at the roster, when you look at them play. And we saw it last year when we didn't have that solution on the field due to injuries. The Ravens have put all of their resources into the defensive backfield. Let's just look at the number of different investments that the Ravens have made into the defensive backfield. First, of course, you have the corners, Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters. Both are top 5 cornerbacks based on Pro Football Focus the last time they played together. This investment alone makes the Ravens unique in the way they treat their cornerback position. And those are just the 2 starters. We're not even talking about the slot when you talk about cornerbacks like Brandon Stevens, Kyle Fuller, and we also drafted 2 cornerbacks this last year in Pepe Williams and Jalen Davis. The sheer amount of resources at the cornerback position alone would be enough to blow many teams' mind, and it's something that most GMs don't do. However, when we go back and look at some of the other investments they've made, for example, arguably the best cover safety in the league, and Marcus Williams, who at the time of his signing was the highest paid safety in the league, paired up with a first-round draft pick investment, the first overall draft pick that the Ravens had in Kyle Hamilton, and then longtime Ravens like Chuck Clark and Geno Stone, we know the level of investment that the Ravens have put into the defensive backfield. Now again, this is totally different from the way that people used to build teams in the past, where they used to depend on one great cornerback, a good cornerback, and then put a team around them specifically on offense that helps those teams win. If we compare directly to the Rams, which is the easiest, they put all their cornerback investment in Jalen Ramsey, use him as the star defender, and move him around the field to help the defense in whichever way it needs to. It's also easy to compare the Rams to the Ravens because of one thing. They had this already. They had what the Ravens are trying to do. They traded us Marcus Peters, if you guys remember. So they could have done something very similar to what the Ravens are trying to do now. Now, again, the Rams have had success because they depended on stars all over the board, right? Not just on Jalen Ramsey. Again, if you looked at the Super Bowl last year, the reason they won was not Jalen Ramsey. The reason they won is because they arguably had the best defensive player of the generation in Aaron Donald. But the Ravens decided to use this multiple star DB solution. Now, again, remember that in the NFL, there's a salary cap. So there are upsides and downsides. The upside is you have talent everywhere in the defensive backfield to combat quarterbacks and wide receivers, which the quarterback is the most dangerous position in the NFL. However, there is a massive downside. The downside for the Ravens is that they do not have the cap space in order to get premier players at other positions. Again, if you look at the offense, our premier players are at the tight end position, arguably the cheapest position on the offense. And I would argue that hiring so much talent in the defensive backfield is the main reason that our offensive weapons include mostly tight ends and Lamar Jackson. Now, do I think this strategy will work? Yes. The reason I say yes, only because I know the other strategy doesn't work, right? Again, you can win a Super Bowl if you depend on players at other star positions. For example, if you have the best defensive player in a generation, you have a receiver putting up the best receiving year ever, and then you have a quarterback who plays really good in the playoffs, along with that star corner. Oh, don't forget to mention a star head coach. Now, the Ravens are going to depend on the star head coach, the star quarterback, a star tight end on offense to get the job done. On defense, they're going to over-talent you at the defensive back position. This hopefully prevents the Jalen Ramsey problem because we will be able to guard multiple offenses in multiple ways. We can zone because we have the talent everywhere. We can man up because we have the talent everywhere. We can blitz and leave one-on-ones because we have the talent everywhere. If you watch Jalen Ramsey, you see that his problems come because he's trying to do everything. He's trying to play the short pass and the deep pass when his job is to cover the deep pass. However, he's always trying to be in a position to make a play on every play. The Ravens don't have that problem because we depend on Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey to be in the right position and do their job. This is an important aspect to the Ravens' success this year. The biggest question on the defense is, does the style that we're playing, the multiple star DB style, does it in the end help you beat quarterbacks? That is the biggest question that we have. We know pass rush does for a fact, but does having multiple cornerbacks and multiple playmaking positions allow for the Ravens to stop Patrick Mahomes? Does it allow for the Ravens to stop Josh Allen? We know that one cornerback cannot do the job. However, can multiple cornerbacks, a great safety, and then a Ravens scheme that has always been praised for its innovation get the job done? Well, we will see this season. I'm hoping the answer is yes, but you guys let me know in the comments below. Also subscribe. Thanks, and go Ravens.